Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to Train Life, a railway simulator, and we've had a little patch today, another little patch. This was for all platforms, although it was really just a hotfix, if we're being honest, for console. There wasn't too much put in for console, a couple more things for PC. We'll have a look at that very shortly. Right now, I am at, let me have a look where I am. I am at The Hague. Oh, if I can remember how to zoom in. Oh, come on. It's not a good start, is it? Right, let's use the D-pad. I'm at The Hague Food Processing Plant. I'm going to pick up some trucks of meat, which I'm going to take to... where are we going? Let's have a look. I think Rouen, is where I'm going. Once again, standard disclaimer, if I've pronounced that terribly, then apologies to all you French speakers or French natives. Yeah, so we have a level 2 requirement for steel sheets, but also to deliver meat. So we're going to see what we've got here at this food processing plant. We should have some contracts for meat. We'll pick those up. We'll make our way down towards Rouen. We probably won't do the full run because it's quite big. We'll see how many miles it is once we get underway. I just need to reverse in now to the pickup track. So let's do that before we get into what was in the patch. Let's just reverse. Now I've not played this for a few weeks, maybe a month. Whenever the last video was on this, where we talked about the future. I think that was the last time that I played this, if I'm honest. And I think that straight away the detail looks a bit sharper. Has it gone sharper? Is this just my eye? This is on the PS5. And to me, the graphics look a little bit clearer. I wonder if something's been done on that. Doesn't say in the patch notes, but as I always say, if the developers had made some change, they should be shouting about that. Then we all appreciate it. But I would say, just with my naked eye, that there's definitely some kind of a change gone on there. But anyway, let's. What do we need to do? We need to get into the station panel. That is the wrong thing. Don't want to turn the lights off.
Station operator here. What can we take a look at what's in our rail yard?
Oh, so we've got bread. We've got one bread because at the back end of this, I've come to the food processing plant and I've delivered flour. Because I've delivered flour, this food processing plant is now making bread, and you can see there's one available already. That just takes time to be able to make the bread. But we're going to take these. We've got 7 meat wagons, and we can take these to any city warehouse. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to add those. We've got a capacity of 12, but we've only got 7 available, so we'll take all 7. So that's good. Let's go back. Then we want to go into the coupling, and we want to put them on the tracks, hook those up, and we should be able to finish. There we go. Now, do I need to switch cabs? Where are we? Let me go back into the cab view just briefly. Yes, so let me switch cabs using this radial dial. Okay, excellent. Right, so we're ready to go. So what I need to do, let's set... No, okay. So I'm pressing the big pad there on the controller, which is completely the wrong thing. You can tell I've not played it for a few weeks. Isn't it surprising how you can forget the controls fairly quickly? It was Rouen we were going to, so if we are taking meat, where do we deliver meat? Do we take it to the warehouse? Let's have a look down there on the... Let's go in the codex actually. What is the... if I look at the codex, what is the symbol for meat? There it is, down the bottom right hand side. We can take it to a warehouse, yes. So meat from the food processing plant, pick up meat, take it to any warehouse. So let's go to the Rouen warehouse in that case, which is here. So there we are, we've got our GPS route. You can see it is quite a big route. We'll see how many kilometres it is, as I said. And let's get underway. 45,000 kilometres. 45 kilometres, not 45,000 kilometres. God, we would be in trouble, wouldn't we? Well, let's see how we get on. Set the points to the right so we can come out of this processing plant. That's good. We've got the lights on. We're in business. Nobody's going to give us a fine for that. So, yeah. So let's talk about today's hotfix. So I'm playing on the PS5, as mentioned. And let me just get back in the cab. So, the main thing that I mentioned in the last video about the future that I was a little surprised wasn't fixed in that last patch was what I coined a long time ago, the matrix effect, which, if you remember, on the windscreen, right since the beginning of the game, it looked as if there were black raindrops going down the screen. As if you've watched the series of films, The Matrix, you will see it's a kind of shimmering effect like in the films. And today's hotfix on consoles has fixed it, finally. Look, you can see out of the window, and I'm just wondering if something to do with that has contributed to the general overall graphical sharpness that I mentioned just a couple of minutes ago. I don't know. There's nothing else for console mentioned in the patch notes, so I'm assuming that it has just been that has changed for the console. So nothing too exciting, but if you've been playing as long as I have, then it is certainly welcome news, that, because, well, just if you look at some of my other videos, I'm mainly playing outside of the cab, and that's because the matrix effect really did spoil it for me. So that's one good thing. I'm going to try to bring up the patch notes now, just in case you're on PC. Let's have a look. I know we normally talk about consoles pretty specifically, but I know a lot of you guys that watch these videos are also playing on PC and the other platforms, so thanks for that. I appreciate every view, every comment that you give me, so we will go through the PC fixes. And let me just get up to speed first, because I want to keep my eye on these pesky signs as well. We can stay on the right hand side, which is good. Okay, we're cleared up to 120 kilometers per hour, so let's do that and keep going. Okay, so on PC, so PC patch notes, by the way, so it's PC patch 1.2.1, and if you're on console, it's console patch 1.6. But for the PC, we have got changes and fixes. Some of the HUD elements were hard to read or off-centered. And I'm reading this as Simteract, not as we as in me. We noticed a lot of people were talking about how hard it was to see some of the HUD elements while playing the game. We revamped the HUD in the last major content update, and although the feedback we got from you all was great, it seemed there was still some more tweaking to be done. Let me keep my eye on these points. We're good. So we took heed, and the certain elements of the HUD should be more visible for players. Now, you guys on PC are going to have to let me know if this is correct or not. We've got a broken down train in front, have we? Okay, we're good. No, we're good. So, in the sound, audio corruption near Prague, Wroclaw scenario during the cabin view. There were some reports of audio bugs in this scenario, so now players shouldn't be experiencing any cuts or glitching out of the audio. Fair enough. Some audio improvements. Then level art and design. Camera clips through the right hand side window, making it appear translucent. We noticed in the Leco and the DP3100 there was some clipping on the right hand side of the window, and as a result the window appeared translucent. This shouldn't happen anymore. Then we've got, and I'm speeding, let me just bring that down a little bit. I'm reading and driving live at the same time, and I don't want to derail. Stability and performance is the next item for PC, and that is the game freezes after using the load last save option from the derail crash screen while navigation is set to any location. For some, this was a major game breaker, as the game would crash after loading a save after the player has derailed. This has been addressed and won't happen anymore. So yeah, so if that is a previously a game breaker, that is a very good fix, isn't it, for you guys on PC? So I hope any of you guys that are watching this that have ducked out of playing the game for some time have seen that they've fixed that and will come back and try the game. Let me know down below, actually. For those of you who have been regulars on this Train Live series that I've been doing, have you taken a break at all from this, or have you still been playing the game? I'd just be interested to know. As I said, there's been lots of other stuff that I've been playing just recently since I've been back on the channel. Not to mention Train Sim World 3, of course, because we've had a lot of new content for that, and there's a lot upcoming as well. So Train Life has been on the back burner slightly for me for the past few weeks, but I'm always glad to dip in and have a look. So, you know, what is your guys' story? Are you still playing it? Have you completed it yet? I don't know how many cities I've actually got. Let me just check how many cities. Does it tell me? Fully upgraded cities, 5 out of 45. So I've still got a long way to go, and it is difficult to do it. I think we talked about this last time. It's not easy. Especially, this is the other thing about leveling the cities. We still have the bug where if I deliver, let's say if I deliver 10 wagons of something, it seems to only be registering the fact that I'm delivering 2 wagons. So even though I get paid for the other 8, it doesn't tell me. It doesn't count towards leveling up the city. Now, that was a bug that I noticed, I think, just before Christmas. I first noticed that. Now, I don't know if it's been like that since the beginning. I'm assuming it has. Now, that would explain why I've only got 5 cities upgraded, because I've been working really hard at leveling up certain areas. I'm doing quite well in France, actually. I'm doing quite well in France. I'm not far from leveling up the majority of France, but I kept thinking, this is taking me ages. I've delivered more stuff than this. That must be why it's not registered every single wagon. So if you're in the same position, just double check that and see what you think, because it's definitely not registering for me. Now, I don't know whether it's not registering for certain areas of the map, or whether that's a general bug right across the game in every location. Not sure, but it's there. And I fully expect when I deliver these 7 wagons of meat down to Rouen, it's not going to register the fact that I've took 7. It might still only give me a couple. So that is a bit annoying. So that's one for the future HOTFIX. I did report that on the Discord, actually. So back to the patch notes list. That is it for the patch on PC. And as I said, the only thing that is listed for patch 1.6 for consoles is the matrix effect has gone, which it has, which I'm super pleased about. So there's still some things to be fixed. I think there's still, a couple of improvements I would like to see, but I haven't seen anything yet on when there might possibly be a follow-up patch to the one we've had today. So fingers crossed. The Discord, actually, I must say, the Discord has been very quiet, which is why I was asking the question, how many of you guys are still playing it? A couple of you have been in touch with me in the last week or so to say you've just picked the game up and you've been watching the videos to try and pick up how to play the game, which is great. That's what those videos are there for. So yeah, watch those videos, let me know if there's anything you need to know. But yeah, that's why I wanted to ask the question. The Discord's been quiet. Is everybody still playing it? Have you taken a break? Have you just got bored? Have you been playing something else? I know there's been a few other games coming out recently. Actually, Power Wash Simulator. I've got to admit, since that has just come out on PlayStation, I know you PC and Xbox people have had it for a while, but since that's just come out on PlayStation, I've been putting a lot of hours into that one. Me and a few others who are regulars on the channel have been doing that. It's something a bit different. So, you know, you do, don't you? You play something solid for a while, then you get distracted and you go to your pile of shame and you start playing some of the other stuff. So that's perfectly fine, but... Okay, what have we got coming up? We've got an 80 coming up. And we're off to the left. Let's see where we are on the map. So we've come down from Hague Food Processing Plant and we're down, well, we're in Antwerp. We're just past the pump jack and we're coming towards Brussels. The track speed's not very fast around here. There's so many curves though. We've got 120 coming up, so we will be able to get some speed up. Let's just make sure we're capturing these points in the bottom left hand corner. What do you guys think of the graphics? Is there some improvement, or am I making it up? To the naked eye, it looks pretty good to me. But I could be talking a lot of cobblers as usual, so I rely on you to keep me honest. We have got Bambi coming up. We don't want to hit Bambi. Because Queen Bee Gaming, who's our channel member, our only channel member at the moment, does not like it when we go and we nearly hit Bambi. So let's get on the horn. Actually, I think it must have run off. We might be good. Probably off on the side of the track. Top right hand corner, you can see the employees are doing their thing. One of them has just gone actually up to the Hague processing plant and dropped off 10 wagons of livestock, which will be processed into more wagons of meat. So we could actually go back after this to Hague food processing plant and pick up some more wagons of meat, because by the time we get back it will have been processed. So, you know, make sure you do that. My recommendation is to get as many drivers as you can. I think we can have up to 10 drivers. I've got all 10, as you can see in the company status box just there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You've got 10 drivers. Get those drivers working as soon as you make some money. Pick them all up a train. For the majority of those guys, I've got the standard train, the little sort of shunter train that we start with. Get them employed, get them all doing jobs, and if you're working on a certain city, get them to deliver the raw materials to the city, and then you can go in there and deliver whatever that city then produces elsewhere. Get a chain going. It's quite fun actually. So there's not just the driving element, but there is the company management side. I'd say it's a kind of 50-50 split, isn't it, this game? So, let's see where we are. We've got an 80. So we're alright. We've still got 31 kilometres to go. I wonder if we'll be able to squeeze that in. What do you reckon? We're just at Brussels. Slightly speeding. Got an 80. The other thing is, have you guys uncovered the whole map now? I am at bottom right hand corner there. You can see percentage of the map explored, 100%. Because don't forget, if you're talking about the employees, for the employees to be able to visit a certain location, you have had to have already been there and visited it first. So I spent quite a lot of time at the beginning of the game going round unlocking the various locations so that my drivers could do that. So I have been all around the map. which was really nice to have a look around the map. You know my opinion of this map. I think it's great. I like these games where we have a massive map. That see, this is one of them. Then we've got On the Road, which is the whole of Germany, isn't it? I just got a trophy actually. Show me the goods, a silver trophy. I'll have a look what that is after the stream. I don't know what that is. Yeah, we've got On the Road. We've got Fernbus coming up. I know a lot of you are excited for Fernbus now. Look at the size of that map. So yeah, it's not trains, it's buses, but it's a very good map, and we're going to be all over the place when we get Fernbus. And I mentioned in the last video that I put out, which I think was for On the Road, Aerosoft, and I need to put the brakes on. Cannot proceed. We've got a red light coming up. Aerosoft have got me on the influencer list, so they are going to be sending me Fernbus as soon as it's available for the PS5. Now, if I can stream that before the game goes public, I will definitely do that if I can get permission, because that will be great. Because I know then we can look at that together. And we got blue signals again in the section, so we've got the trains past us on the left. That's good. Let's speed up. But yeah, Fernbus is coming up 28th of February, I think. Prior to that, if trains is your thing, then of course the 21st of February, which is just next week, isn't it? It's next week. We've got a lot of new US stuff coming to Train Sim World 3 as well. So we will be checking that out as well, including the Acela, which I know everybody's looking forward to. And plenty of freight stuff. So that's next week. That's the 21st. Look out for that too. So we've got quite a few things coming up, haven't we? Quite a few things to look forward to. Transport Fever is another one. Don't forget, Transport Fever is coming to console. I think that is March. That is in March. And Transport Fever actually is developed by Nikon, same as this game. So I've been trying to get in touch via the community manager Mikey with Nikon to see if we can bring that to the channel as well. I think it's March. It could be early March, like 10th of March. Rings a bell. I'm checking on that, but yeah, check that out if you're on console. Transport Fever. I know it's very, very popular on PC, and there's lots of people doing series on Transport Fever on the PC version, and it always looks really, really good. So I'm going to give that a try. So yeah, there's loads of stuff. Everybody else is off playing Hogwarts Legacy, I think. Not me though. I'm not a Harry Potter fan at all. Not one bit. I got about halfway through the first film and switched it off. I thought it was terrible, and that's going to be a very controversial opinion. And here is a 50. We need to get the speed down. Oh, there we go. Those construction sites will get you. Keep a very close eye on the speeds. There's only one or two places where they pop up. Brussels is one of them. Just keep your eye on that, or you'll be in trouble. It will derail you quite easily. But we're through it now. We can go up to 120. Let's get some speed in. We'll see if we can get down to Rouen. There's Brussels in the background. I'm saying it's Brussels. It's Brussels, that, isn't it? Yeah, it's Brussels. There you go. Brussels Main is behind us. So we are crossing into France. Lille is next. I still would like this orbital camera to be able to zoom out a bit more. This is, you know, because once you come around like this, you know, it clips. I want to be able to zoom backwards a little bit more. See a bit more of the loco and the train. You're okay in this angle, but that's no good because you're looking back on yourself. I want to be able to zoom this bit out a little bit more, but it is what it is. We'll survive. There's a train approaching. We've got two blocks Let's have a look. Are we going to get a red? No, we've got a blue block, so we're okay. There's nothing blocking us right now. Let's go back in the cab. Now we don't have the matrix effect. So the train's passing us there on the left, so we're good. So I'm still in the NEWAG Griffin, by the way, which I've been in for the last couple of these videos we've done for Train Life. This is the expensive train. There's not, you know, apart from the cab inside, I don't find there's a great deal of difference to these trains. It's not like Train Sim World 3 where each train is modelled on a real life train, and therefore, you know, they drive differently. You need to learn different controls. These use all the same controls. There's not a great bit of difference apart from what it looks like. This one's a bit faster as well, but then again, you're limited to the speed on the track, aren't you? So it doesn't really matter in that respect. But I've been using this one quite a lot. The other one is the one that I call the Class 87, which is the diesel. And if you're a UK rail fan, you'll know what I mean when I say the Class 87. It's the look of the cab inside reminds me of a cab of an 87, the old 87. Those two are my go-to trains in this. So as I said earlier, I've assigned a lot of trains to employees, but I mean, look at the money in the top right hand corner there, 13,723,000. I've got plenty of money to play with, so I bought some additional locos and I've kind of got them in reserve. They're not doing anything, but what it does mean is that I can call into the service centre if I want to and keep swapping locos without having to unassign one of my employees first, so that I can, you know, swap trains, because that's no good. So I've got some spares. So once you get plenty of money, you can start to do that. This is fully upgraded, by the way. I did have a question from one of our community members earlier today, actually, asking me, he's new to the game, he said he was struggling getting up some of the gradients, and he was literally crawling up a couple of the gradients and found it difficult to get to the top of the hills. But I pointed out to him that, you know, whatever train you start with, go to the service centre and work on upgrading that. You know, get the biggest engine you can afford as soon as you can, which will help with those gradients. I think he was using the basic, because he's new to the game, he was using the basic train. It doesn't really tell you anywhere, does it, to do that, to go and upgrade them. The upgrades are available, but one thing I found was a lot of the upgrades are very similar. If you look carefully, it does tell you what the performance difference is between the one you've currently got, the mod that you've currently got, and the one that you're buying. But it's not easy to notice, and there's no real guide for that. So if you're watching this now, you're also struggling in some parts of the map, try and buy yourself a couple of upgrades. Just go into the service centre and just have a look what upgrades are available for the money you've got available. See if there's anything there that'll give you a bit more power. Some of the engines will give you a chunk more horsepower, which could help you get up those gradients. But the gradients thing was quite a new thing, wasn't it? Was that introduced around, I'm gonna take a guess, September or October? Well, the game came out in September for consoles, didn't it? But I think the gradient thing was a little bit later, maybe October. But yeah, just adds to the interest level. Alright, this is Lille that we're passing through. Still got 16 kilometres to go. We'll probably make it all the way there. Let's do that. Speed up a little bit. And once we get within range, we'll call it in and we'll get these delivered. Quite a sharp left turn coming up as we leave Lille behind. So we're just bypassing the station. This is Zurich Main service centre there, just on the left. We're good for 80 at the moment down this stretch. Some of these curves feel a bit sharp for 80, to be honest. But 80 is what it says. What have we got coming up now? We've got another 80 coming up. Look at this. Unless the minimap is not zoomed. You know, what I mean is the minimap is giving us an impression that it's a very sharp turn. Let's see, here it is. It's actually quite a curve, isn't it, this one? It's not as sharp as it appears on the minimap. $14 kilometres. I think we should be able to cover that off fairly quickly. Look at that sun. The sun's great. Honestly, that is one thing. We've said it before. That's one thing this game gets right. I do like that sky. It's 5:51 in the morning on the game clock. So this is the early morning sunrise. And that looks pretty nice, to be honest. Let's get the speed on. 120 on this stretch. This tells me up there, you see we've got an incline. See, it tells me on the top right hand corner, which is what we were just talking about. So in this NEWAG Griffin, there's absolutely no problem. Even under load, we've got 7 wagons behind us out of a maximum of 12, but even when we got the full 12, there's no issue. Let's keep the speed under that 120. We have got a animal crossing in front of us. Fairly ripping into these kilometres now. So once we get under 500 metres, I'll start on the horn. Normally you can see the deer start running away. It's just there, look to the right. Safely out of the way, which is good. It's nice to see as well, that minimap, by the way, there was a problem certainly on the PS5 up until the last patch. It was fixed in the previous patch where the minimap was meant to, you know, if you were coming into a built up area, the minimap was meant to zoom in then zoom back out, and it wasn't doing. Now it is, so that was a good fix. $10 kilometres. Let's check the big map actually, let's just have a look. So we are up here, and actually it's not that far at all, is it really? Got to pass the factory at Rouen, and then we're down to the warehouse, so we should be able to announce our arrival pretty quick. You see the minimap there zooming out again, and that's what I mean. When you come down to a detailed area, it zooms in a little bit, and then for the rest of the journey it'll zoom back out again. It does that automatically. That's because I've got it set to auto in the settings. I always did have it set to auto, but it wasn't doing it. I kept seeing footage of the PC guys doing it, and it was zooming in and out, and I thought I must be doing something wrong, but no, it was just a bug, which has now been fixed. It's quite pleasing. There's Josh Murphy. 10 wagons of lumber to Hanover warehouse. So yeah, the cities in the background are being upgraded by my 10 drivers. Whilst I take this meat down to Rouen or Rouen. 8 kilometres. So it's not appearing yet on the radio. We'll just keep checking that. It should pop up and tell us when it's in range on the left, but sometimes it's quite quick. You don't always notice it. So you just use the just keep using the D-pad left. You can keep flicking it up until you see it, and then you can call it in. There is the minimap, of course, there on the actual dashboard in this particular loco, but it's difficult to see, which is where that minimap comes in pretty useful. Another animal on the track. Let's just check again. Nope, it's not come up on the radio yet. Got the factory coming up on the right hand side. Let's just have a look out. Somewhere over that side. Let's keep an eye out for this animal. It'll probably run down that embankment any second. You keep your eye out for it. It's right on the track. There it goes, going off to the left actually. Good, safely out of the way. So there's the factory over there. Let's make sure we get the points right, so we're not going over. There's the branch line going into the factory, and the warehouse should be coming up very, very soon in 3 kilometres. Let's see. There we are, so we can call it in.
This is the station operator. How can I help you?
Let's request access.
Proceed to entry.
Okay, good. So let's set, using the pad in the middle of the controller, I've now set it to the drop-off track, so this will take us right into where we need to unload, which is quite good. We've got an 80 coming up. So I'll put some brakes in. Just a slow run into the warehouse. Try and keep it around the 70 mark, I think. So it's important as we approach the drop-off point, make sure you keep a closer eye on which points we need to set, just to make sure you're taking the right direction, because if you take a wrong turn at this stage, you can get in all sorts of mess, because you can end up entering an area that you haven't got permission to enter, like a station zone, and you can get fined for that, which you don't want to do. We've got the 50 coming up, which suggests we're right at the entrance to the warehouse. This is it, in front of us. So let's get to the drop-off track. No problem with the signals. 2 blue sections, keep an eye on the points. We're okay to stay to the right for this one. And you can see the orange symbol there showing the drop off. So if we go to the right here, then we can start to slow down. So you can see there's the arrow for the drop off point. So let's just run along this drop off point a little bit so we get the rest of the train in, and then we'll get these things unloaded. Get some brakes in. There we go. Let's get the handbrake on and we'll uncouple them. So let us unhook them, confirm delivery, finish, and there we go. So we got 155,000, well nearly 156,000, 2,471 XP. And actually it has this time registered, you can see there at the bottom, it's actually registered the fact that we've delivered 7 out of 10 wagons of meat. So it has registered all 7, which is interesting. So Rouen definitely works. Let's see more details. And it just shows, well, I'm already at level 30. There is no level above 30, but you can see, look at my XP, 329,000 out of a maximum of 214,000. So as I mentioned in the future video last time, I hope they do extend that level. It's just a small thing. The XP is obviously increasing, but there's no level bonus once you reach 30, which is a bit of a shame. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are going to try the new patch out. Let me know what you think if you do. Don't forget to leave me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.